Hello friends, this is the continued video for the REST integration. Basically, we are trying to hit these APIs: post, get, put, patch, and delete. Actually, we are trying to get the details on into our system by hitting these particular three APIs. This is also a REST kind of callout. Over here with the Salesforce, we are trying to hit the predefined web service of Go REST application. The Go REST Open APIs, I can say. So they are giving us the three APIs. With the help of these three APIs, we can do these certain tasks. So the certain tasks are like get. It will give us the mobility to retrieve the data. Post will give us the mobility to create a resource or post the new data onto the server. Delete will give us the ability to delete the record, and put will give us the ability to replace the particular resources, right? So for this, we have created one, two, and three components. So into the first component, we are just getting the data, which is the user list from the GoRoast API. Let's refresh this one and get the new data. So here is our data, which is already rendering dynamically with the help of GET request to the API callout. So here is the GET request. With the help of this GET request, we are getting all the user details. Again, if we can see, like, we can edit this record onto the data table. Let's copy the name first of all, and we again have a search user by ID, which is also a GET request, which is giving us the data. We can see over here, like, we are having the gender of this particular person as female. Okay, let's save it and let's search it again. Here we can see the gender is changed. So this is happening with the help of post callout. Like, we are updating something. Uh, Sorry, like put callout. We are updating the user over here. With the help of get, we are getting the data onto the data table over here. We updated the thing, and we again search the data with the help of ID of that particular user. So we are getting the updated value. So that's the reason we are hitting this particular three APIs, which are giving us the CRUD operation and creating a user, getting the user details, updating the user, and deleting the user is done with the help of these APIs. And we are directly interacting with the Go REST database, which is not into the Salesforce, but it's outside the Salesforce. So let's see the create option as well. Let's say I'm creating a user, say Amit, Amit@gmail.com. It says gender is male and he is an active user. Let's create a user. Clicking the create user button. Let's copy the ID. Let's search the ID here as well and here as well. So we are getting the same data, right? So this is a get call which I have made. Let's do a patch call. Let's update the user status from active to inactive. So this is the edit operation, which is nothing but a put or a patch call. I save the data. The data got saved. Let's retrieve the data again. Here we can see, like, the data is updated to inactive. Okay, let's delete. Let's do the delete operation as well. Let's say when I will click on the delete button, we can see, like, the user is deleted successfully. Here we have used the toast message, and again if I'll try to search, I will get the alert like the resource is not there, and it's saying like error in fetching the this particular user. This is basically in nutshell I have did. We have got the third party data, we have edited the third party data, we created the new third party data, and we searched the third party data, and as well we deleted the third party data. So these are the operations given by the Salesforce, which we can do with the help of REST API by configuring our system with the third party system. So basically, in a nutshell, we have communicated with the web service of GoRest website. From the Salesforce, we are sending the request through the internet HTTP protocol, and the web service is doing the operations on behalf of us. So, doing the operation on behalf of us, we will need some authentication token. So this particular authentication token is the authorization which we are giving to the third party system, so that the third party system can authorize ourselves. Like we are doing, if we want to perform the operations on the third party system, it's necessary, like we should be verified. So that's the reason from the GoRest website we have got the token. These are the API tokens. Okay, so I have used this token into my controller. The controller name is GoRest controller over here. So let's see the first method, which is get user. This is a server side controller. Means like from our UI, this is the Aura component. In future we will go into the Aura components, but in a nutshell, like this is like this, that we are having an Aura component, and from the Aura component, the Aura component is visible over here, and we are doing some operations over here, and on that basis our server side controller is getting called, and it's making a HTTP request and bringing the response, and the response is then deserialized, and it's returned back to our Aura component so that it can be shown on the UI. So that's the thing in a nutshell. Like at the server side, we are having these methods to get the user with the help of get method. To create the user, we need to pass the JSON body into the third party system. And we also need the authentication over here, because here we are not just getting the data, we are updating the data. So that's the thing, like if we are creating new data, or if we are updating the data, or if we are deleting the data, it's necessary, like we should have this bearer token. In further, we can hide this sensitive data with the help of name credentials. We have the concept called as name credential in Salesforce. Let's quickly have the look on that as well. Let's say name credentials. Over here, I have created a name credential. My name credential is actually an anonymous name credential which has no authentication. We are giving a hard coded value over here as a bearer token. So this bearer token is passed as a header, and it's also called as authorization, right? But we can have this particular bearer token into the name principal over here at name credential, and we can go with OAuth, or we can go with password authentication. Okay, so these two types we can go with this for this scenario, because these two operations gives us the mobility to get us authorized with the third party system. So this is necessary. So that's all about the name credential, where we can hide our sensitive informations and we can make a smooth call out. So whenever this particular class is exposed to anyone, then our sensitive information should not be exposed. So we can do this by using the name credentials. We can hide our sensitive data, right? So first we have made the get callout, then we have our post callout, which is to create the new data or update the new data. Okay, and then we are into our get user by ID. We are just making a get callout over here as well. So here is the get user by ID. Actually, we can move this method to get in nearby to the get operations. So this is the get one. We will have this method referring to this method, so that we can easily find the same methods nearby, right? So here is the get callout. Here is again the get callout, like where we are searching our user by the ID as we have seen on the UI over here. These two operations we are doing over here so that we can get our user by the ID. So here is the name credential, right? I have used my name credential over here. So this is the name of my name credential as we have seen before. This is the name of the name credential. Okay. So we are done with our post get. Okay. Get over here. Again, we are with the post at the server side. We are passing our JSON body. So JSON body is actually passed through this component. Okay. And thus, with the help of this bearer token, we are inserting the data into the third-party systems database. And we are also getting the response back, and the response is returned as like the user has been created successfully. And we can take this user ID and search over here. Like we can verify that our record is created into our third-party system or not. Okay. Then here is the method for the delete user by the ID. The same operation we are doing, only the method we are changing. So this request class, you can go and search the documentation on the Salesforce. Like we are having the request and the response class. So this request class is having these three main methods we usually use. We are usually familiar with these methods for the interview as well. We should be. And again, the response are having this particular methods like get status, get body, and get the status again, the status code again. Again, we are having the update user over here. We will try to do the update operation with the help of patch method, right? So this is the patch method. We are just passing the user data over here, and this user data is then again collected into the JSON body, and thus the users are updated. Okay, by setting the body, we are getting the response over here, and this response is then further checked, like if the data is updated successfully or not. For this, we are passing the user's data. Now let's see these methods in conjunction with the Aura components. Okay? So let's go with the user list component. User list component is this particular component, user list. So over here, we are rendering this particular data table, okay? And we are having the search by user ID. So this is the like the UI where we have used this UI, and we are handling this particular search event on this particular search queue. Okay, and then on save we are handling this save where we are having our draft values in conjunct with. Okay, and then for this particular on save and on search, we are having a controller which is taking the data. This is a do init which loads on the component loads. Then we have the handle save. Here we are collecting the draft values. We are having the action. This action is nothing but our the Salesforce side controller. Okay, so this is the Salesforce side controller. Update one. This one. This is the update. So over here we are enable the method as the Aura enabled, and that's why we are having this action over here to work on. So we are setting the parameters into the user data, which are nothing but the draft values which we are editing on our data table. Okay, on this data table, draft value is nothing but like if we update over here. So now this yellow part is nothing but a draft value. Whenever we save on this yellow part, the data gets updated. Okay, so over here the draft values are coming and the data is getting updated. finally we are just getting success toast, and if there is an error we are getting the error from this error object, where the error object is nothing but the response dot get error. So into the response body we are getting the error object, and from this error object we are removing the message from this array of errors. Okay, and we are setting it back to the error message attribute so that we can see the error on our UI. And again for the search one we are calling the method into our helper, where for this we are using the user ID. So over here in the helper we are fetching the users, and we are fetching the users by ID. So again we will see this particular details into our Aura part. So this is in a nutshell, like we have used this particular system configurations with the help of Aura and with the help of our server side REST controller methods to talk with the third party system. Okay, so this is in a nutshell like I have built, and this is very important through the interview point of view, because these are the basic methods like we should be hands-on, which will help us to be a smooth into the interviews, right? So this one is our UI and the some of the methods which are used. Like for this component we are using this controller. The controller is handling the data and giving it back to the server side Salesforce Apex class. An Apex class is performing the request on behalf of us. So this was all about our REST topic. Means like the REST, we can use this REST, we can use any actually APIs to make a follow to the third party system. So today basically we discussed, and yesterday also we basically discussed about the REST only. These methods are very important. So that's the thing, like we implemented this particular real-time scenario where we can have the third party systems data into our systems, and we can make the changes on behalf of the third party systems user. So to make this particular changes we should make sure that we are authorized first. So thanks guys for watching the video. We'll meet soon into another different topic and another different video, which will be basically important for the interview point of view, right? Thank you so much.